What if I told you Valby is an end game character who can kill any boss in the game pretty easily without hardly even using her weapons? Or you can switch it up and become somebody that is heavy duty with the weapon, DPSing as well. So I figured that out. And today we're going to break it down. This is the First Descendant Valby Build video, and this is the first one. So the game's not even out a week yet when I'm making this, and I'm here in the end game content, enjoying my run. But I'm taking Pyro, making him work for his survival. He's struggling out here as I troll him, to be honest. Just testing my abilities, seeing how much tick damage it does, and demonstrating it for you guys so that you can see how good this is. But I want to talk about Valby. I'm going to showcase how to use her abilities properly and kind of a good system for you. And also, I want to showcase the build so you can work with it and make your own version. Don't think that my builds are the one and only, but you can take the pieces and add your playstyle into it. And that's what I love to offer, because I don't think there's one build for everybody. Everybody has different playstyles. With that out of the way, yes, it is a fun time in this game, and I've been really diving in, and I'm pretty much committed to this game. I didn't think I would be, so I just want to say that now. Thought it'll be a game I try, but it is officially a game I'm into heavy, and I will be. So keep an eye out for me. I do have giveaways to thank the community. I have Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater and Assassin's Creed Shadows. I know that's not this game, but those are the giveaways because those are some of my favorite games, and I'm gonna be playing them when they release, and I want to give you guys some copies. So make sure you hit that comment section and check it out. Okay, with that out of the way, check this out right here. There's an important scenario where I see that he is attacking me and he has the ring also attacking me, and I was a little bit uncomfortable. I didn't want to get pinned down, and I use the ability that you might not have thought of, use it as an escape mechanism. But to my left, there was a ring coming, and I said, I'm out of here, dude. And if you watch right here, the ring is pretty much would have trapped me, and I would have been caught up in the lava at best. So this example is where she can be aggressive, she can be passive, she can be defensive or supportive, and I use her to revive people because I rush to them with one of her abilities. And so super clutch character in my opinion. And we're going to dive into her full kit, breaking it down, giving you the rundown. I mean, he's easy, his health goes down, you can see that up top. I'm skipping the ending here to give you guys the build and showcase exactly what you're getting with her. Okay, so let's get into it. First things first, we're going to talk about her kit. Water intake. Basically, when you're in the water, in any of her water that she creates, your MP doesn't cost as much, so you can spam it literally the whole time, which is phenomenal. Okay, so keep that in mind, because everything you're doing is basically spamming it all over the place. This is the number one ability to spam. It's called cleanup, and you can go through enemies. You're gonna take 50% less damage, and you're gonna do tick damage to them. If you have your skill power high, you can basically one-shot them. This is what I've been doing. And on top of this, you also have the mobility. Okay, the main thing with this to me is the mobility. I use it to get around. I'm faster than Bunny. Yeah, I said it. And I love Bunny, by the way. I have my build about her. But this right here revolutionized the game for me. And I feel like she's going to be my main. I got to try everybody out first, but I love her that much. So this ability is going to be the number one tool to survive and to be aggressive. Now here goes the first ability, called Bubble Bullet. And basically it'll explode when it hits enemies. But what I love about this, I use it to create lanes. So I'll just throw it in front of me, behind me, and make the enemies come towards it. You got to manipulate the enemies. And so this character can manipulate enemies the best, in my opinion. Now, here goes our teleporter that I told you guys about. The one thing about this that you got to remember is it's amazing, right? You're going to get teleport as far as you want or as close as you want. I like throwing it right at my feet if there's a big enemy. But against smaller guys, if it's not a colossal interceptor boss, you can basically knock them back. And when I knock them back, I like to do damage on them. Maybe I'll reload, maybe I'll do damage, whatever it is. Playing aggressive is amazing. But as you saw, I can use it defensively. So it's super clutch, in my opinion, for that. And of course, last but not least, this is a grenade launcher. And we're going to showcase what these things do and how they work. I want to make sure you guys are locked in. So don't sleep on what I'm about to give you, the secret sauce, secret tips. So with her, again, as I said, if I hit my first skill, I don't want to do it on them. I just want to do it around them. See, that right there is causing tick damage to the people. And now if I run this way, it can come at me, but I'm going to be prepared because I have so many other abilities, right? And now I want to talk about the launcher. There's a couple of tricks. I like to pull some people in and then go somewhere else to pull them in over there and continue the tick damage. And then it's such a cool feature that you just basically can keep doing damage to them over and over and over. It's so easy to do. It's so critical as well. Now, the main ability that you're going to be spamming, well, let's talk about this one first. I like to do it right at my feet, so I just aim down. And right at my feet, if somebody's close, I'm surrounded. That's a panic attack. But as I said and you saw, I can actually just escape and end up on the opposite side. It does knock them back and all that good stuff. And see, they're taking tick damage, which is so cool. Now, what I want to talk about is controlling the environment. See, for example, I'm going to do a circle around them. And then I'll stop, of course, and start shooting and doing what I have to do. But this means that if they cross this line, they're dead. So just imagine the type of playstyle you can have with this setup. And that's why I love her. And you want to try to stay in the water. So using this ability, you get 2 of them. So you can spam them the whole time. Like I would do this right here before I even shoot. And then I'll just stay in the water to get my MP cost low, pop other abilities, and just go crazy. Now these guys are invulnerable, so they're not going to die because I don't want to ruin the demo that I'm showing. But that is an example of what you could be doing. Okay, so just take that into account and then say, okay, how will I go about this? What do I need to do, etc., etc. So that's going to help you in the long run in the game for yourself. And I want to showcase a little quick farm. I was running around just doing a mission to pick up, as you know, trying to get new characters or trying to unlock something specific. And I used her. I felt like I wanted to show it before I give you guys the build and a couple of different builds together. Give you an example of how I like to do it. You can see I'm creating a circle around them, literally just ignoring them because they're all dead. By the time they touch it, they're all dead. See right there, dead, dead, dead. I didn't have to really shoot. And this is on hard mode, and this is pretty. They're pretty tough. I will tell you. But as you can see, they touch the water and they're pretty much dead in 2 ticks. And this isn't the maxed version for DPS on the skill power, but it's close. So there you go. So I'm just letting the water go. Then I can also still fire my weapon, right? But I have that damage happening to them. Even if I don't shoot, I could just walk away and let them die. So this is important because sometimes when you're in the open world outside of the bosses, you get overwhelmed. But with her, she can control the crowd incredibly. Of course, Bunny's amazing and all that, but I think people who haven't touched Valby will now say, yes, she's the best. And sorry about that. This is a unscripted footage of me just roaming. And a perfect example would be this area right here. There's some enemies that are gonna be swarming me, and there's some of those bomb guys. But now I just created a perimeter, and they can literally come on over and they'll die by the time they get around. If they're not dead, they're pretty weak. And so I'll just do some damage to them. And that's just an example of how to destroy people and make it easy for yourself without having to even do much. It's fun to run around and gun and go wow. Pretty easy play style. So that's kind of the format with her. Now I want to break down the actual build and give you guys run for your money when it comes to what the game is offering. with the actual builds and her playstyle. Have multiple builds, so lock in for that. So Valby is all about your choice on how you want to play. As I said, I like the fact that she has the versatility. It's been fun to have that type of play style where one moment I'm being very aggressive. And this is like my almost balance for hard mode. I go in there and I'm doing great. And I actually can probably take off shields, but in hard mode, you want to keep it on when you fight bosses. But I could take off shields. That's 16 points. And I'm going to have enough to do some more damage. The main one you want, of course, Technician for the modifier. And Duration, I like it because once you put the water on the floor, they're dead. Now, this is the number one. And this is something I have a video about. The non-attribute specialist, okay? This is something that people probably don't understand. But each character's ability has a trait to it. And so, for example, she has non-attribute and dimension. So if I put on non-attribute for my mods, I'm going to be doing more damage. Okay, so as you can see right here, I got 81% extra on top of what I already have. So that's the difference. Okay, so you want to do this for every single build that you have. They're going to have a specific one or two attribute or skill or specialization, whatever word you want to use, and that's going to be what you equipped to make them stronger with whatever skill they use. Absolutely necessary. And again, there's a lot of different methods and a lot of different items you have to find, but each character has one of these. You want to find it and then use it for them. So of course, increase defense and HP are the first two that I always recommend just for survival. I promise you, you'll make it through the full game. Made it all the way to Hangman before I put on any other stuff. I just started slowly upgrading these as I got some points. And then, of course, I put on the Technician and then the skill expansion because, I'm sorry, the range. It's called skill expansion, but it's for the range to be able to have better damage. So that way, if they cross the line, the big line, and they're going to be ticking for multiple time periods. I put the shield on because I am on hard mode now, guys, and I promise you it's no joke. But if you're not on hard mode yet, you don't need it. You have 16 slots. And as a matter of fact, the MP, you can take that off as well. And I'm going to show you guys a couple of different variations and different pieces that I like and I'm still working on upgrading as we go. So you have the maximum range. Okay, this is the number one for her and for other characters as well, but you want to have big range when you throw all these abilities because that tick damage is so powerful you can destroy. And so this is my farming one where I put on the MP collector. You wonder why I didn't put it on the other build is because for farming I'm gonna kill a lot of enemies, but for a boss I am not killing a lot of enemies. It's like 3 or 4 ads that'll come out. So it's better to have this second slot. Please make a second slot and enjoy the game. Anytime I'm gonna go farm, I'll just throw this on and I'm able to survive. As you can see, I don't even have defense on. I took that off. I mean, I could get in there and get crazy with it right now on hard mode farming. You guys know, you know that one spot that I have in my video. So this is just an example of what I do and how I go for that. Okay, but definitely adding things for your second play style when you're out in the open world is critical. This isn't my true boss build. I was just fooling around trying to see. I do like spear and shield, and that's why I threw this in here because the defense is at 78, and defense basically is a way to negate damage. So if I hit you now and you don't have any defense, it's gonna hurt you 100%. If you put on defense and you see you have 78, that means that you're not going to be taking a lot of damage. You'll take 20 plus damage, 22 damage. So it's a pretty cool feature to make sure you have defense as high as you can. And then HP specifically because your shield does regen and you'll find health out there. but this will keep you alive in those crazy scenarios. And again, little details. And again, this isn't necessarily everything you need, but the point is, attribute resistance is something that I always thought. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because I did say this in one of my other videos. Put on attribute resistance for each boss. And it's true, but it's not. Because now I've learned that I can have defense, HP, spear, and maybe if not, I'll have the shield one, max those out, and I can ignore whatever resistance I need to ignore. Because I'm in the end game now, and I promise you, I'm not putting any resistance on my character, and I'm beating these bosses easily without it. But that's because of what I'm going to show you in a minute with the loadout, because you're going to add more defense to your build as well. But that's just an example. Now, there's plenty of very cool mods in here, and we're not going to go through them all. Of course, fingers is probably the best for a lot of characters. There's tons of stuff like strong mentality to slow down the cost if you need it. I don't need it for this character, and like I said, it depends on the scenario. I don't have MP collector, which is going to be meta for a lot of people, but it's mostly for the open world. I don't need it for a boss. So just an example of things that you can do. Now we're going to get into this right side. We don't want to talk about weapons, because the weapons actually have nothing to do with anything. I have not collected all the weapons to tell you which one is the best for her. She has specific abilities, she has specific playstyle, and so I'm still working on it. I can say you always want to have a mobile, smaller weapon, a submachine gun, hand cannon, or regular pistol, and have that as your primary to run around and to basically survive when you got to fight. But make sure that it can do some good damage, of course. But the bright side is important. Okay, so if you watch, besides the first one, because I was picking up shards farming, I would switch this and put on something. I don't even know what I have right now, but I would definitely put on max defense. That's the number one thing that you want no matter what. So I would go in here and I would look for max HP. If I don't have max defense, well, I'm going with HP. Okay, and that swap is important. This one sucks, but you get what I mean. And now we're gonna get into the other pieces. You could see max. That's not it either. Man, this build is not ready. Defense right here. Shield. Oh, I messed this all up. I'm a bad example. I've been testing out a couple of other pieces, guys. But the main one right here is the memory, all right? Defense, okay? And I have it pretty low, but I promise you, if I put defense on this, and this, that's going up to 40. I had it at 40 in those videos that you saw when I was fooling around, all because I had these multipliers in here adding to it. I want to talk about the reactor. I'm not going to do a video about this. I mean, I did a video about that. I'm not going to make this video long, but as you can see in here, as I explained earlier, your actual ratio, if you look in the middle, it says non-attribute skill and dimension. That's what she uses. So this is perfect. The reason I have it on is to complement her. Now, I do want better stats on the bottom. I have skill cost, which I don't need, and I have HP heal modifier, which I don't need. But this is definitely something you want to do. Pay attention to those, but make sure you have the attribute set up for the extra boost. That's going to do way better for you overall. And another pro tip, the optimization condition, for example, the reason I have a shotgun, I'm not even using the shotgun the whole time, literally not even touching it. But this optimization condition means if I have it in my loadout equipped, I'm going to get the buff off of that. So it's going to be perfect. Okay. So make sure you follow that lead and do that as well. And like I said, you know, this girl right here is incredible. This is just a template of what I'm going to be making with her and how I'm going to play with her and how I really love, like, I love her. Like, I don't like her. I love her. And so I would suggest for you guys, I'm not telling you to go get her right away. Don't spend your money. All right. I tell everybody I'm doing a no money spent run. I'm telling you to do a no money spent run, but we'll say Once you get her, try her out, put some of the stuff I have on. As you can see, she's just destroying people, and it's a fun time. And this is on hard mode. I just was farming some items. Here we go. Yeah. So with that out of the way, by the way, I do have a creator code. If you guys are gonna be spending money, might as well give me some credit for it. You also get credit for it. There's a system. Go look at the link, and it's from Nexon. I don't really know about this stuff. I'm new to these type of games where people just paying for everything. I'm in America, so we don't have that system often as much as other world countries do. So, but I decided to take the creator program because I'm excited for this game now. So happy to do that. But remember, I got the giveaway as well, so lock in for that. And I have a no money spent series that I'm starting, and I want to bring you guys along with me to enjoy it and have some fun. So check it out. It should be popping up on your screen right now. See you there.